Alright, so this is going to be another video on deforming cubes. In the other one I gave kind of a really fast overview on just adding or taking away. So when I'm looking at deforming cubes as far as the assignments go, this is a deformation because I pulled a block out of here, this is a deformation because I pulled a block out of there, and this is a deformation because I pulled a block out of there. But I just want to go over this demo again in case people wanted to reference it. So I'm just starting off by creating sort of the outline very lightly of a box that would contain my chair. And these are sketching. This is sort of just the quick sketching method that we've been talking about. So everything on this surface here can only, if it's on that plane, on that flat side here, it's only going to be going this way or up and down because it's height. Anything on this surface here is only going to be going up to the right here or up and down because it's height, if it's on those flat surfaces. So if I was looking at the side profile for my chair, it's going to have a height of a leg. It's going to come over across on that plane, probably a little further, and then go down there. And then I can get rid of this line because that would be gone. Yeah, I'll try to make this straighter. Now this corner here, usually if there's two corners coming together, there's a third edge. And it's up to you to kind of figure out if it's an edge that you see or an edge that's hidden. So because this is kind of, this would be the corner facing us, and you can see it in the example that I did before, it will come across. Now I'll do the same thing over here. However, this face, like I said, has vertical and up and to the right as it's like two lines if it's on that plane. And I'm trying to be about the same height with that front leg just so it kind of looks right. So every line I'm drawing for this example and for the assignments I do with just the first time deforming cubes, I keep everything very block, very in like a block format. So all my lines are going to be parallel with one of my first three lines that I use to establish the X, Y, and Z axis, or the height, width, and depth of the object. So I've got that line going back there, so I'm going to have this line cutting across the other way. So now I've kind of got and then this line is parallel with this line is parallel with this line. Every line I've drawn so far is parallel with one of the lines that I started with. To continue my chair and do the chair back, I'm going to think about what it's going to look like on the side of the chair. So I'll see the chair back go up the full height, but then the actual seat part will come down most of the way, and it will go across. Now this would be horizontal in real world, but because of this perspective, that angle, which I'm matching for this side, everything on this side, is parallel with that, and that, which is my first line, as parallel as I can in the sketch. That's horizontal, that's flat on the ground, but because of the angle we're looking at it, it has a perceived angle to it. And then for the front, it will go across the front as parallel as I can get it with this line, with the bottom, here, they'll all be flat. At this point I'm going to erase some stuff because there's a huge box that will be taken out of this front area there, and I'll remove it with those construction lines. Again, construction lines, when we talk about later at the alphabet of lines, they're very light lines. Sometimes you even leave them in. I'm just going to erase them on this because it's pencil. And then to finish up the chair, I'm going to try to match, like here's a corner here I would see, here's a corner here I would see that edge, and I'm just going to kind of work my way around. But all of these edges are parallel with one of the first three lines. All of these are parallel with something that I drew first. So now this side is going to be here, going up to the right, so across the way would be about the same way. The height of the back of the chair would be vertical like everything else that I have for height. This kind of just happened to match. You want to focus on having the lines parallel and don't pay attention to length. They should match if they're parallel, like they'll happen to meet up. And then the back of the chair would have a crease in it, which should be about parallel with the front. It's a sketch, so I can kind of make some lines a little thicker to hide the fact that I was a little off. But there is the chair from the cube and taking things away. So as far as my assignments goes, this would be 1, 2, 3 deformations. You can also add to the cubes, add to the block for one of the deformations, such as I show in the other video where you extend aside and then finish the cube or finish the edges from there. You just want to make sure that all of your edges are parallel with one of your first three. First and foremost, that'll help you create sort of consistent perspective for that style, or for this style rather. All right, thank you very much.